quite a lot of people have been playing The Conquerors 3 recently. It's a place where people threaten other players with their massive firepower, and scare people with their nuclear arsenals, and they crush their enemies with their wrath, and they repeat that cycle over and over again. Many people see nuclear weapons as power, but haven't known that it's a flawed ideology that has been in the community for a very long time. What was a symbol of power back in time was nuclear missiles. It's a weapon of mass destruction, it can deal large damage to building structures, and it can wipe out almost the entire battalion. It perhaps reminds you of becoming the United States or the Soviet Union. There are many things you have to account for when you get a nuclear arsenal. Research centers, time, your national security, and whether or not your allies will get a silo. And what I mean by national security is all of your assets, including your income source, your command center, and your miscellaneous. Research center costs $100 to build, and researching a nuclear launch pad costs another $100, and it takes 20 minutes to complete the research. You can speed it up by building more research centers, but that would take away $100 every time you build another. But then you ask me, well, why will you not pursue a nuclear weapon? What you have to know about time is your bonus damage grace period for your command center ends at the 20-minute mark, and to get a nuclear weapon requires you to get income, which requires time. It takes 20 minutes to research a nuclear silo with a single research center, 10 minutes with 2, 6.5 minutes with 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's say you build 3 research centers at the 7-minute mark with a decent 150 cash per minute, 7 minutes to build your income. That's already $300 down to the drain for 3 research centers, and another $100 for nuclear silo research. And you have to wait about 6.5 minutes to have your research done. So what you have accrued after researching the nuclear silo is about $1,000. And this is where players cannot financially support and sustain themselves to get a nuclear weapon. If you needed security, you needed a barracks, which costs $150. Perhaps an ally can build one. And to make 6 to 10 heavy soldiers for national security, you need to get a minimum of $120. And finally, to build a nuclear silo, you needed a whopping $675, and 4 fixed minutes to build it. And to build a nuclear missile, you needed another $300 and a wait time of 5 fixed minutes. And when your missile is halfway done, your grace period expires. So all of your forces go to either national security or attacking. But while you spent your grace period researching nuclear weapons, developing nuclear missiles, your enemies spent their time training more troops, building armadillos, and giving birth to pigeons. All of this free money means your enemies can afford a large military, not just for defense, but to shoot your economy down and crush your base. And since you have a weak military, your national security becomes vulnerable, and your income is potentially open to an attack. And by the time you have tanks up or space fighters up, you would not be able to catch up with what the enemies have at this moment. The enemies would have an enormous air power because securing airspace is a strategical imperative to the game. He or she who owns space units control the skies, and there's no better way to get around the map by air than anything else. Navy is limited to the seas, and ground units are limited through land that contain a lot of choke points. And those are the reasons why I don't pursue nuclear arsenals. It's strategically bad, it can financially devastate you, it's a waste of money and time. There's not a perfect time to research such a weapon. The whole thing is just unfeasible. Instead of putting those money into nuclear weapons, many would use it to build a full-size military. And when anyone, especially me or any pro players, find out that you are building a nuclear silo, the whole strategized plan is designed to do this.